After literally months of intense speculation and whispering, Brooklyn pelts, Beckham is finally shattering the silence regarding the ongoing rumours of a deep rift between him and his power couple parents, David and Victoria Beckham. The 26-year-old star took matters into his own hands, addressing several explosive claims about the family tension in an incredibly lengthy statement posted to his Instagram. Story on January 19th. He kicked things off by explaining exactly why it took him so long to speak his truth writing. Quote, "I have remained completely silent for years and made every single effort to keep these personal matters private and out of the headlines. But ultimately, my parents and their publicity team have continued to leak stories to the press, leaving me with absolutely no choice but to finally speak for myself and reveal the truth about just some of the lies that have been printed about me." The photographer then made it brutally clear that he has absolutely no plans to mend fences with his estranged family, writing, quote, "I do not want to reconcile with my family. I am not being controlled by anyone. For the first time in my entire life, I am standing up for myself." He went on to add, "For my whole life, my parents have tightly controlled the narrative in the press regarding our family. The performative social media posts, the staged family events, and the inauthentic relationships have been a permanent fixture of the life I was born into. Recently, I have seen with my own eyes the extreme lengths that they are willing to go to in order to place countless lies in the media, mostly at the expense of innocent people, just to preserve their own perfect facade. But I believe the truth always comes out in the end." Brooklyn then turned his attention to the rumours about how this massive rift started, particularly addressing claims that Nicola and Victoria got into a heated disagreement over her wedding dress, explaining, quote, "My parents have been trying endlessly to ruin my relationship since way before my wedding even happened, and it has not stopped since. My mum actually cancelled making Nicola's dress in the 11th hour despite how excited she was to wear her design, forcing her to urgently scramble to find a new dress." The 26-year-old then alleges that his parents repeatedly pressured and attempted to bribe me into signing away the rights to my own name. Ultimately, Nicola and Brooklyn decided to combine their last names, and they are now officially going by Peltz Beckham. Those are just a few of the shocking claims Brooklyn addresses head-on in his statement. He also speaks out about the drama at his first dance with Nicola, alleging, quote, "My mum hijacked my first dance with my wife," a moment which had been planned weeks in advance to a specific romantic love song in front of our 500 wedding guests. "Mark Anthony called me to the stage where the schedule clearly planned for my romantic dance with my wife. I have never felt more uncomfortable or deeply humiliated in my entire life." The aspiring chef then clarifies the reason why he and Nicola decided to renew their vows in August 2026. A ceremony where David and Victoria were noticeably absent, writing, quote, "We wanted to renew our vows so we could create new memories of our wedding day that actually bring us joy and happiness instead of anxiety and embarrassment." And that was not all Brooklyn wanted to clarify. He also addressed the situation surrounding his father's 50th birthday celebration, explaining that he did travel all the way to London for the birthday, but alleges they were rejected for a whole week. Adding that David refused all of our attempts to meet unless it was at his big birthday party with hundreds of guests and cameras stationed at every corner. Adding, quote, "When he finally agreed to see me, it was under the condition that Nicola was not invited. It was a massive slap in the face. Later, when my family travelled to LA, they refused to see me at all." Brooklyn did not just weigh in on the rift with his parents, but also the drama with his siblings, Romeo Beckham and Cruz Beckham too, writing that throughout all of this, he has received endless attacks from my parents, both privately and publicly. Stories that were sent to the press on their direct orders. Even my brothers were sent to attack me on social media before they ultimately blocked me out of nowhere last summer. Lastly, Brooklyn moved to shut down speculation that Nicola is somehow controlling him, clarifying, quote, "The narrative that my wife controls me is completely backwards. I have been controlled by my parents for most of my life. I grew up dealing with overwhelming anxiety. For the first time in my life since stepping away from my family, the anxiety has finally disappeared. I wake up every morning grateful for the life I chose and have found true peace and relief He finished his statement by explaining what he is looking forward to now as he moves forward. Quote, "My wife and I do not want a life shaped by public image press or manipulation. All we want is peace, privacy and happiness for us and our future family." Outlets have reached out to David and Victoria for comment. Access has been keeping receipts on the Beckham family feud from the very start, piecing together a comprehensive timeline of the chaos. We are covering absolutely every twist and turn leading right up to that explosive new post from Brooklyn. Before January 19th, the actual root cause of this icy silence was a bit of a mystery, though. Whispers in town suggested it all hinged on a broken promise regarding a wedding gown. The drama centres on their nuptials back in April 2022, a topic Brooklyn finally tackled head-on in his recent lengthy statement. However, Nicola wasted no time trying to extinguish those rumours during a candid sit-down with Variety later in 2022. She explained the situation, saying, "I was planning on it and I genuinely wanted to wear it, but a few months later she realised her atelier just couldn't make it happen. So I was forced to choose a different dress." Nicola clarified further, insisting she didn't say you can't wear it, and I certainly didn't say I didn't want to wear it. That was the spark that started the fire, and the media just ran with it, she told the publication, while Brooklyn chimed in with his own take. He added, "I've learned that people are always going to try to write nonsense like that and put people down, but honestly, everyone gets along, which is a good thing." But wait, because the alleged wedding day disaster goes way deeper than just a dress code violation. Another insider spilled the tea to people claiming the 30-year-old actress felt Victoria completely hijacked her wedding reception by stealing the groom for a dance that was meant for the bride. This wasn't just any dance, it was supposed to be a deeply meaningful centrepiece moment specifically choreographed and planned for the newlyweds. A source gave a statement at the time, noting it was a lavish gift from Mark Antony that the Peltz family had poured significant money and time into, including professional staging and a live band right there at their estate. The insider expressed that it is just heartbreaking and totally inexplicable that such a precious once-in-a-lifetime moment was snatched away like that. The chatter seemed to die down a bit after Victoria made an appearance on the Today Show in October 2022 and publicly addressed the wedding. She played the doting parent card, perfectly saying, "As a mother, to see my son so happy, it just means so much to me." She continued questioning, "What more can you ask for? You really can't ask for anything else." And, being a parent to adults is kind of an interesting dynamic. I always find myself wondering, when you are parenting grown-up kids, what is that experience actually like for you in the moment? She reflected, saying, I think the kids just grow up so incredibly fast, and it really comes down to cherishing every single second. And we are definitely a very close-knit family. According to Posh Spice, it is all about keeping those lines of communication open. She emphasised it's about being present as a parent. "I love my work in fashion and beauty, but being a mom, being a good mom, that will always be my number one job." She gushed about the couple, adding, "They are just amazing and they work so hard." She concluded by calling them good, sweet and kind human beings, noting that raising kids like that is exactly what you want to achieve as a parent. In the months following that interview, it seemed like the Peltz Beckham clan was trying to show a united front to the world. Brooklyn and Nicola even showed up to support Victoria, sitting front and centre at her fashion show in Paris back in 2022. Victoria returned the favour, supporting Nicola at the premiere of her film Lola in February 2024. And the couple was seen again at Victoria's Paris show in September 2024. But the peace treaty didn't last. By April, rumours of a rift flared up again after eagle-eyed fans were convinced Cruz Beckham threw some shade at Nicola in an Instagram comment section. Then came the major snub a few weeks later, when the couple completely skipped David's milestone 50th birthday bash in London on May 2nd. Their absence was loud and clear as they were noticeably missing from all the happy family portraits posted that night. To make matters worse, they didn't even bother to wish David a happy birthday publicly on social media, which speaks volumes in their world. Just a few days later, on May 6th, a source confirmed to People magazine that Brooklyn and Nicola are currently navigating a very strained relationship with David and Victoria. The insider claimed there is definite tension between the couple and the rest of the family, though they clarified that the relationship is definitely not beyond repair just yet. The source emphasised that the family truly loves Brooklyn and they are always going to be there for him no matter what happens. However, they are simply hurt and deeply disappointed that he has chosen to play practically no part in the family life recently.